I mean, I'll be absolutely honest, from my position, it's absolutely infuriating that one day I'm told the Strait of Hormuz is open, the next I'm closed, and I'm not in international shipping. I'm not waiting for oil or goods to reach me in a port or harbour.
I suppose you actually are waiting for oil and goods to come through.
Yes, I probably am, actually, truth be told.
20% of the world's oil supply, even if a lot of that oil supply is passing through Hormuz going towards Asia, it's a global market, right? That's what people don't understand. When you have a global market, it means that the prices are affected globally. It's not something which is just localized to one particular area of the world. And there's another factor here is that, look, Iran's figured out quite a while ago, and rather deftly, I might add, they figured out that the sensitive point for Donald Trump and America, the EU, the UK, every advanced economy in the world, is the economy, is energy supplies. So just as Donald Trump announces, the Strait of Hormuz is going to be open before the weekend, so as the markets are closing, knowing that it's going to boost the stock exchange, knowing it's going to boost international energy markets, Iran understands that it can also use announcements to say, well, you know what, we're going to close it again, and it's going to cause havoc probably tomorrow morning. So when that happens, it creates a political effect. And the Iranians aren't stupid, but there is a ceiling to what they can achieve by holding Hormuz hostage. And I think they understand that. Again, they're not stupid people.
Is this situation ever going to be resolved? Ever go back to how it was? Because we've got Iran talking about taxing boats that go through. I have seen some word out of Washington to suggest that the US is considering also introducing charges should Iran go down that route. This sort of tit for tat debate, it just makes me wonder whether the Strait of Hormuz is ever going to return to normal.
I think generally speaking, markets know how to adapt. So even if it's not going to return to normal, markets will adapt, economies will adapt. It all depends on the final status quo antebellum. So even with Iran saying definitively that it's not going to go back to the pre-war status quo, we're going to be charging, service fees.
Yeah.
And they're saying that, in order for us and Oman, which is the other side of the Strait of Hormuz, in order for us to both jointly administer this stretch of water, we're going to need to charge service fees because it's going to put us at cost, which is, on paper, it sounds like a reasonable argument.
Yes.
But obviously, it was always open without charges before the war. So this foolhardy attempt to just dive in, basically at the beck and call of Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel, thinking that it was going to be another Venezuela, is what's, led Trump into this quagmire and created this global mess. And he's now trying to wing his way out of it, claiming that he's some kind of all-conquering hero. He's given speeches saying that, I have achieved unconditional surrender. Yeah. And it's just laughable, frankly.
Finally, what's your take on the Swiss talks? I mean, America, once again, you've got Witkoff is there. I think Jared Kushner is joining them.
That's right, yeah.
Are we going to see any kind of meaningful progress? Because I think Arakchi is somewhere else, and I'm already harbouring doubts, and I just wonder what your view was of Switzerland.
I think it's less important what actually happens in Switzerland and more important what happens in the Middle East, and particularly what Israel does. Netanyahu isn't happy with this, and not even Netanyahu, by the way, even opposition parties, people who are going to run against him in the elections, are fuming at the memorandum of understanding. In their perspective, this should have been a devastating loss for Iran, and make no bones about it, Iran has suffered catastrophic damage. There's no two ways about it. Their military is crippled. A lot of their industrial centers have been severely damaged. Energy as well, that's been catastrophically struck. These things take a lot of time to rebuild. So it's not like Iran's able to do a victory lap either. A lot of suffering has gone all around. But because Israel's so unhappy with this, they're going to do their absolute level best to ensure that this does not go anywhere. And it's a 60-day ceasefire, and it's a ticking time bomb.
I see there's the ceasefire seems to have been broken by both sides, and Lebanon and Israel at the moment, Hezbollah. Tallha, lovely to see you, lovely to talk to you, and it would be nice to think one day we might have a more positive conversation.